I'm Alan Ingalls, the director of the festival, and I'm about to go off duty. I just want to thank everyone for coming out. A lot of folks have been at the festival all week. It's a grueling 10 days for all of you and my team. We love doing it for you. And it always culminates with a great award ceremony. They're all winners. I mean, I tell all the filmmakers here, getting in this festival is very competitive. When you get into this festival, you're a winner. But with festivals, you've got to give out prizes. So we've picked the cream of the crop, and we've got our good friend John Anderson to hand out some very special awards. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight, for being here for the festival. Our provost, thanks to the university for a great support. FARAHANI, the county. Rob Roth had to leave. He's had a long trip back home. Thank HBO. All of our great team here tonight. Thank you, everyone. Mr. John Anderson. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Alan. As evidenced by tonight's film, Alan remains a one-man delivery system of cheery endings and good times. It's a good movie, though, isn't it? I kind of, seeing it again, I realize it's kind of an addiction story, too. Addiction and everything else. Anyway, just a random observation. I've been doing this, we were kind of trying to figure it out, and nobody has enough memory left to figure out how long I've been doing this. So it's been probably 10 years, and in that amount of time, I think I've come to know something about Stony Brook audiences. You like good film. More importantly, you're willing to go to films you don't know anything about, which is really important. I mean, certainly you have faith in Alan's taste, but that only goes so far. I remember he programmed a film I gave a good review to once years ago, and some less than satisfied audience member threatened to burn his house down. This may be urban myth. So other things I know about you, or assumptions that I make, probably you can't wait to see Boyhood, or maybe you've already seen it. You can't wait to see Ida, or maybe you've already seen it. Yeah. If you had a personal vision of hell, it would involve a double feature of Transformers 4 and Tammy. You probably didn't stand in line to see Sex Tape. Oh, some of you probably made one or two. And that's another festival I think Alan's got planned. We'll talk about that later. This always seems like a golden opportunity to say something profound and deeply depressing about the movies, about which there's plenty to say. The movies, like everything else in this country, seems to be bipolar. I'm sure there are people who are capable of hating Obamacare and 22 Jump Street, but I don't know how that works. I have a friend who wants to write a piece about how the romantic comedy is neither. And it dawns on me sometimes that romantic comedies are about people being horrible to each other, and horror movies are actually about people being pretty decent to each other, except for the guy with the knife. Speaking of horror, I flew to Canada this week. My apologies to Michelle, wherever he is. And it occurred to me that there might be an article to be written about how a movie, I was there for something called Fantasia Fest, which is a horror fantasy festival. And there's, Stony Brook and Fantasia have more in common with each other and regular moviegoers than Sundance or Cannes or a lot of other festivals. In Montreal, like here, people seem to come to the theater in a really good mood. They fill up the theaters consistently. They enjoy watching the films, which are meant to entertain and aren't programmed because they're important. Sometimes they are important, but that's not why they're in the festival. At Sundance, for instance, they program a lot of stuff because it makes a statement about cinema, or it's being made by someone who's famous. Not because they make you feel something about the human condition, or they broaden your perspectives, or they make you laugh. At Fantasia and at Stony Brook, you see movies that are made for audiences. There's a higher corpuscle count in Canada, but at both festivals there's also a surprising breadth of subject matter and style. There's a lot of French up in Quebec. The lingua franca of Stony Brook used to be Dutch. This year, apparently, it's Inuit. I haven't had time to brush up. This place is like the UN. The point is, it's great to see people coming to movies for the fun of it. and I hope you continue to do it. A word of warning before we get started with the awards. Please, when you come up and get an award, be very careful, because the man at the pet store says he's not taking any of them back. And with that, we're going to start giving out awards. And Vanna White is going to help me. The 2014 Special Jury Recognition Prize goes to Into the Silent Sea by Angé London, which is about a lone... Did anyone see it? Everybody see it? Everyone see it? Terrific. Okay. Alan says it's terrific. And when Alan says it's terrific, you can take that for what it's worth. So, did he have a statement?
He did. I think he said a statement.
I'm sorry, he has a statement. Yes. Angé London, who is a student at Chapman University, says, "I'd like to thank the jury and the Stony Brook Film Festival for the acceptance and recognition of my film Into the Silent Sea. I'm proud to have been invited to the festival so that I could experience what a magical place Stony Brook really is when it comes to the appreciation of the art of cinema. Everything from the wonderful audience to the devoted organizers was simply top-notch. I hope to return to Stony Brook with another film in the future, but until then, I will proudly cherish this recognition. Hope you have a great closing ceremony. Best regards, Angé." So, the next award is going to the 2014 Jury Award for Best Short Film. We're going to cue up the, which is Clash of the Titans, Dick Cheney versus Obama, Sequestered, filmed by Lucas Spall, which is really very funny and extremely vulgar. That's what we like about it. Should we show the video acceptance? All right, let's cue up the video acceptance. And if you haven't seen the film, I don't think it matters.
You ready to go?
You know we won the Stony Brook Film Festival.
Hey, I told you I don't do that no more.
No, man. Stony Brook. And watch your language.
What the are you talking about?
Alan said no more swearing.
Alan? Who the is Alan?
Alan Ingalls. He's a director of the festival we won.
Cool. Which one of us is going to accept the award?
I am.
Are you kidding me? With your approval ratings?
Better than an old man with a bad heart and a flawed foreign policy. No one wants you, Dick. Not even Fox.
Shut up.
Make me?
You want some more, mother? Because I will you.
So what do you got to say about that? The 2014 Audience Award for the Best Short goes to Little Africa. Curtis Adair Jr. is here. Curtis, come up, please.
First, because I'm a man of faith, I want to thank God and also thank Stony Brook Film Festival for the opportunity. I think at this time I'm very, I start to go back, my mind goes back to when I was in illustration and drawing. Before I went to film school, a teacher talked to me about how an artist should always record the time in which he lives. Which doesn't make sense because I did a film in 1921. While at the same time, I'm glad I did this piece and I'm glad people responded to it. I did it, well, I tried to do it because I didn't know if I could do it. And that's why I attempted this project. And it was something that wasn't supposed to, I think someone here told me the other night that it brings up the pains of the past. And I didn't want it to be something that tried to show black versus white. It was more so of trying to show how the heart transcends color, which is why we have a black mother and a mixed son who looks like he's white and acts like he's white, but there's still that love there. So I'm glad people responded to it. I'm glad Stony Brook gave me the opportunity to be here. And thank you. This is a great opportunity. Thank you.
Thanks, Curtis. The 2014 Festival Outstanding Performance Award, which I don't believe is given out every year. Nope. Only when Alan decides somebody's really good. It goes to GOLSHIFTEH FARAHANI, the Iranian actress of My Sweet Pepperland, who is, yeah. Congratulations have been sent out to her. She's a very interesting character. She was in Body of Lies, the film with Russell Crowe and Leonardo DiCaprio. She was in Chicken with Plums. She was in The Patience Stone. She was forbidden to leave Iran after making Body of Lies. She was supposed to audition for Shah of Persia. Maybe it was the Shah of Persia she was not allowed to go be part of, but she's a very interesting woman. She was in a rock band when in Iran with a filthy name, and you're not even allowed to be in a rock band in Iran, so that was a double header. So anyway, the Outstanding Performance Award goes to GOLSHIFTEH FARAHANI, who also happens to be one of the more beautiful people in the movies. But she's not here, she's not on video.
But she knows it.
But she knows, so congratulations to her. The 2014 Outstanding Achievement in Filmmaking goes to Mina. The director, Michel Poulet, is here. Direct from Montreal, where I just was.
You were right about fantasy. And the similitude with this festival, because people who go to Fantasia Film Festival are the same kind of people here. The people who love filmmaking, who love movie, and that's why I was so thrilled just to be invited. And I was here a week ago. And first, I would like to thank the member of the jury. My mother's absolutely agreed with you. Agrees with you. I also would like to thank Alan and the people behind him who organized this festival, and it's a real pleasure being here. And really, I'm absolutely happy. It's not the right term, but my English is limited. I'm very, very happy about this award. You know, to make a good film is not so complicated. You have to have good people surrounding you. In this case, we had good actor, good technician, good script. Everything was pretty easy, even if it took 6 years to do. And but what was very interesting was about 2 other groups that were behind us and that made the whole difference in this project. The Innu people, the First Nation Innu, and the Inuit. And I met 2 very important people by chance, and to make this job, which is filmmaking, you have to be lucky. So I was lucky. And one of them was the chief of the Innu tribe where we shot, and the other one was the leader, because in the Inuit culture there is no chief but a leader. So the leader of the Inuit. And at the time we didn't know at all that there was some interest for him in a project like this one. But at the time, both of them were thinking about the future of their community and about their young. You know, when we're talking about the Innu, we're talking about 10,000 people in Canada, and about the Inuit, about 30,000. So, and these people live in places where there would be petroleum, there would be rocks, diamonds. So every day a lot of white guys are coming in, and they see their culture and their language and everything going down the drain pretty fast. So we were there with this project And we found it very important to do this project because it was a story taking place before the arrival of the European. And usually, when you make a film with Indians, it's always the story of a white guy coming somewhere, going somewhere, meeting some other culture. In this case, it was interesting to deal with two cultures, two people who didn't know each other. And with the help of these two guys who said, you know, your film is a solution to one of our problems. And when the film was over, the chief of INU said, you know what, this is the first time in their own life that people from our community see themselves not only on the screen, on the big screen. And for us it means a lot. And when we were in Kuujjuaq, Inuit territory, we had three young, we should say young women for them because they were 15, 16 years old, but they were young. And they came to us and they said how much they have been moved by a project like that for the same reason. For the first time, they were looking at themselves with interesting character played by these actors. So I want to tell the member of the jury how grateful I am because after this big adventure, to receive something like that, it's a breeze. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michel. The 2014 Audience Choice Best Feature goes to K Now. Which rhymes with Hey Now? Here from the film is actress Eva Bartels.
Strange to take this prize because of course I didn't make the film, but I know that the director is very, very happy with getting the prize, and the producers and everybody put like blood, sweat and tears in this movie, so this is for them, and I know they are in South of France at the moment, having holidays with their families, and they didn't make it. And well, as John said, it's really nice that people are here because they really love movies and the fun of making it and enjoying it. But what I also think is very important, that movies tell a certain story. And as we all saw the film tonight, which was quite heavy, I thought, but it's a story that should be told, and the film that I played in is also about the history of Haarlem and the history of Holland, and I was very pleased that we had very much fun doing it, and it's also a very important story to be told. And these days for me, last week were very intense because maybe as you have heard on the news, there's a lot of people that died on a plane that came from Amsterdam, and so the country is in a sort of very strange state at this moment, and for me it's quite hard to be not there because I want to support also my friends that lost a lot of people, and so I'm very happy to be here, and this is actually my first big role in a feature film, so for me it is sort of enormous to be in New York, to get this prize and to share that moment with all of you. So I would like to thank you for the jury, for Ellen, for having us here, for having me here, and you have been so sweet and so kind for us. It feels like sort of a dad vibe because you're like, are you okay? Are you being picked up? Do you have food? Do you have drinks? You have such great friends, and so I actually don't want to leave Long Island right now. And today we saw a lot of good houses as well that I would like to live, so yeah, it's gonna be hard tomorrow when I'm gonna be driving back. Well, of course I want to thank my dad and my mother and well, everybody that supported me to be a creative person instead of a person that makes a lot of money. And well, I get a reward because I really like to do what I do, and maybe eventually when Hollywood calls me, I won't say no. So, and since the director cannot be here, because he's drinking wine in France, I have a short note of him, which I will read to you. This is a word from the director Maarten Treurniet and the writer Karen van Holst Pelikan, and the wife of the director who wrote the script, actually. Her name is Marnie Blok. Dear jury and audience, we were very honored to have been selected into the competition of the Stony Brook Festival. The film Kano has been the biggest challenge of our professional lives so far. And I know this because I know his children, and there were 2 rules at the dinner table, and it was like, one was no phones, and the second one was no Kano. They were totally fed up with it. We shot the film in 39 days with over 300 CGI shots and have built part of the medieval city of Haarlem in a studio in Hungary and the rest of the city in the computer, which was very un-Dutch because usually all these CGI stuff is not a common thing. So they were like very fond of it. Our leading actress, Monique Hendricks, has been a true heroine. She endured many cold winter days without complaining, and we love her for her beautiful and impressive performance. We are very grateful to all cast and crew members, everybody at Who Works and the producers, because they have all put in a lot of love and effort. At the moment, we are on holiday in France and are very sad not to be in New York. Yeah, sure. Kano has been both an enormous joy and a big struggle to get realized. It took us 10 years from the idea to finish the film. So winning this prize and getting your appreciation means a lot to us. We cannot thank you enough. So that counts for me as well. I really love it. Thank you.
I think if you talk to Alan, he could move the festival to the south of France.
I will come there too. There's good houses there, I know.
The 2014, this was our last award, 2014 Jury Award for Best Feature goes to Paper Souls. And here to accept the award is the writer, and we like to get a writer up here, Francois Ozan.
Well, I could be on holiday in France, and I'm really happy to be here. You know, I'm the writer of the movie, and when the director cannot be there, they send the producer, and when the producer cannot be there, they send the hairdresser, and when the hairdresser cannot be there, they send the writer. And I'm happy. On behalf of the director, Vincent Lanoux, and the producers, Patrick Quinet, Claude Varango, and Serge Etoun, I'd like to thank you a million times. Alan, I'm so happy to be there. It was short notice, but I would be back in the blink of an eye. I'm really happy to be there and to accept this award. It's funny because when we were doing this movie, it's a movie about love and death and grief, and when we were wondering with the director, is it gonna work? Is it gonna click with audiences? I was telling to Vincent, you know, it's a New York movie. It will work in New York. It will click with New York audiences. And I was right all along. So that's the good news. I'm really happy to get that prize. I'm really happy that you get to see the movie. We don't have a US distributor right now, and hopefully we'll get one. But just in case, I will send bootleg DVDs in room 304. I'm not gonna thank my mom. I'm keeping that for the Oscars, and otherwise she's gonna be spoiled. Once again, it wasn't an easy movie to make. Again, thanks to Vincent, the director, Patrick, Claude, and Serge, the directors. I'm really happy to be there, and I'd like to end with something that will bring us all together. Go Seawolves. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Well, folks, new room, good vibe. I don't want it to end, but it has to end. The drinking begins. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for having me again. Congratulations to all the winners. See you next year, maybe.